Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Thursday, a Final Takes Thursday, as our travel gets underway tomorrow for the All-Star Games, the Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl. We're going to talk some of that stuff as far as Final Takes. You guys know the rules. We are going to put some takes up. We're each going to give our takes. You guys can vote on them. Whoever has the best takes will be the king of Final Takes for the week. And if you guys have questions or something you'd like us to discuss in the Final Takes segment, you can put them up in the chat. Certainly, if you want to super chat us, we will get to them immediately. Cody, I think the biggest thing that we need to start out with, though, is your Midwestern boy, Pat Coogan, the center, the starting center for Notre Dame, number 78. Ketchum has a report today that it turns out that this guy goes to the transfer portal, right? And I believe it's a grad transfer, correct? It's a grad transfer, isn't it? It's only one more year of eligibility left.
Yep.
But he's a good player, starter for that Notre Dame offensive line that was good. And Ketch comes out with a report today that he's hearing that there is interest on the Texas side. There's something going on here with this guy. Cody, do you want to go into any more detail about it?
No, I think just that it's the murmur around kind of some Notre Dame people that I was kind of checking in on today in the Twitter sphere was that there's a center up and coming, whether it's Ashton Craig, I think that's the redshirt sophomore kid that they expect to come in and take that job, and they expected that kid to play over Coogan next year. And so Coogan was basically looking for a place to start. He has played down the stretch. There's a clip up on Orangewood's, the best clip that everybody saw before, not the national title game, but the semifinal game against Penn State when Coogan was like the one that was like rah, getting everybody jacked up and ready to play. But he's a guy that I think we believe can I talked about last week in Final Takes when you weren't here, you were hunting kind of like the positions that I thought was like the top 5 spots. And to me, it was like either an interior guy, which I was thinking guard or tackle, and probably just one would be like the target here. And if they get a center, I guess, Alex, what is your thought on the idea of them bringing in a center like Coogan? It kind of answers the question to the belief in Connor Robertson or Cole Hudson at that center position. And it also gives you another year to let Daniel Cruz get ready for 2026 projecting. And then that comes to the question is, okay, so who's going to play left guard? And that I think at this point you assume that's Cole Hudson. And then you can, or NATO, I guess. And then you put this Coogan guy in at center. You got Campbell at right guard. And your interior all of a sudden feels a lot more sewn together than it did a week ago.
Dude. I mean, I think he should be a major, massive priority. I think it should be a massive priority, man.
So he also played 770 snaps last year at left guard. He had 813 this year at center. And according to the Kakemimi Pro Football Focus, he was the 23rd ranked center in America. Jake Majors came in at 18th overall. Actually, wait, I did not put minimums in on here. So what's the term of minimums on?
Put it at 20%. Yeah.
That bumps him up to 16th overall. So he was 16th in the country. Jake Majors was 11th. So top 20 center in the country and, kind of on par, 200 less snaps than did Jake Majors play. Jake Majors pass blocking grade, according to PFF, 85, Coogan, 79, run blocking for Majors, 68, for Coogan, 69. So a little bit better in the running game. But yeah.
It's funny that they say he's better in the running game because I went and looked at our all 22 stash today. And I noticed I was a little bit tilted to see that for 2024 Notre Dame offense, all we have is 2 games, which seems odd. That there wouldn't have been more than that. I'm sure we'll get more as people start trading and stuff like that. But the interesting thing though, man, is that so he didn't play versus A&M, which was one of the games. The game that I went and watched though was the Indiana game, and I believe that was the first playoff game, or was
No, that would have been the
No, that was the Friday night game, the first playoff game, right? They played Friday night. Texas played Clemson on Saturday.
yeah, it was Indiana, Georgia, then Penn State, right? Was it
Uh,
the I think that was the it doesn't.
no, no, it was. I thought it went. Didn't didn't Notre Dame play Indiana on a Friday night?
Yeah. They were the first overall game, and then they played
Yeah.
Jordan, then they played Penn State, then Ohio State.
So I watched this guy, Indiana 2024. My takeaways were you could tell just right off the bat, he's good at communicating, good at calling out protections, epitome of a senior center, identifying the mic, um, you know, slapping guys next to him, pointing here, pointing there, communicating, right? You can tell he's kind of the quarterback of that unit for sure. Um, generates decent but not great movement off the ball in his solo base assignments and in inside zone. Um, whenever you watch him, he's not an absolute people mover, but generally good with his leverage and certainly gets it done most of the time. But it's not. Um, he's one of the. I think he kind of reminds me a lot of Majors in that way, right? Majors what is not a a brute strength people mover type of player, right? He just isn't. He gets good leverage. He takes good angles. Um, he doesn't. The one thing I will say is that if you just watch him in inside zone, doesn't always stay in lockstep with his guard when working double teams to the second level. Um, I'm not sure if that's on him or the guard. I kept watching it back and I said, but there was, a little bit of it's like with the pass pro stuff, those like him and the right guard are always on the same on the same page or on the same page, right? But as far as the run blocking stuff, there's a little bit of stuff there. As far as on the screen plays, man, he gets down to he gets downfield on these screenplays, and the way that he can hone in on his target, just acquire his target, and the way he can break down in front of him and attack. It shows me so much about his balance and his feet that he can do that. You know how hard that is, Cody, to get out on a screenplay and then be able to break down and be able to acquire, hone in, identify a target, and then engage in open space. Really hard for a 310-pound guy, right? So he could do that. To me, that shows a lot of requisite athleticism. I will say this too, and this isn't about Coogan in particular, but dude, did you notice this year when you watched Notre Dame just how interesting the wrinkles were in their run game, just as far as their run blocking? They had all kinds of interesting stuff. Like, I guess it's just sort of an aside, but I don't know how much of that kind of had to do with they had a lot of sort of interesting plays and wrinkles off of stuff that they would do whenever you put it in put it under a microscope. And Coogan always kind of sometimes had a lot to do with that. I
It helped that they have a very athletic quarterback that they know they can run the ball with 9 times in a singular drive. Like that was one of Riley's,
I get it. I get it.
key dogs.
I just for some reason I kept thinking that the center has to have something to do with that,
Yeah.
right? That they can pull this stuff off. And then I will the one thing that I will say about him is that if you so the main nose tackle for Indiana is number 8, and I don't know his name, but I looked into who he was. He's not really that I know Indiana was a good team, but this guy was a transfer that was like he was like all MAC or something like that for a couple years. He transfers to Indiana. Like I don't think he's really really that good. He's a kind of an on-off switch kind of defensive tackle. And some plays this guy will just take it off or whatever. But man, on the plays where that guy gets a quick first step and just got into him, just got into his grits. Like if he struck first on Coogan, the I think he's a guy that's got kind of got to strike first on you and kind of get leverage on you and kind of be that wrestler on the inside. Because if he can get leverage on you and he can get to his spot, he's going to be able to get it done. But he's not going to be able to get it done whenever he's attacked first, right? So, with all that being said, I think as far as in the run game, I think for him to play his peak effectiveness at another school, He's going to need strong guards, right? Like guards that are strong, kind of body movers, guys he can get in lockstep with. And I think about what Texas, like it all lines up for Texas. Like Texas has got big, whether it's NATO at the left guard, whether it's Cole Hudson. I think that NATO's probably the stronger of the two. Cole Hudson, the more experienced of the two. But dude, what this would do is like he would come in and start for Texas.
Yep.
Coogan would come in and start at center for Texas.
100%.
Daniel Cruz isn't ready. You don't really want to put Connor Robertson in there. I kind of think you don't want to put Cole Hudson in there. I think you would prefer to have a battle at left guard between Cole Hudson and Nato Yamuzulo. And left tackle Gooseby, left guard battle, right? Nato Yamuzulo and Cole Hudson. Center, you put in Coogan. Right guard, DJ Campbell. Right tackle, Brandon Baker, I guess. And that's kind of up in the air. It's self, but
yeah.
He's a great prospect, 5-star. He's getting paid like $1 million to be here. So
allegedly,
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think they would have asked him to take a decrease, you know? Yeah. But, I kind of think, dude, that's like, that answers a lot of questions, dude. That's a really important thing that's a really important thing. If you can bring in a guy like this, I think it becomes an absolute, like a stone cold, like nut priority.
And it like I said, it ties the entire offensive line together. According to Pro Football Focus, he had 1 sack allowed on 812 snaps, 438 pass blocking snaps, 1 sack allowed, 2 hits, 5 hurries, and 8 pressures on the season. So pretty good resume for Coogan entering the portal, potentially going to Texas. He only allowed 1 sack in 2023, playing left guard as well. I do have a question for Final Takes regarding Coogan, but I also do want to let you and everybody else know that they can go over to orangebloods.com right now. The what was I going to say? The War Room is now up over to orangebloods.com. You can get the whole list of the junior day participants all the way down to, looks like there's some 2027 prospects. We talked about Zane Rowe a couple weeks ago from Denton Geyer. Zane Rowe is on that list, along with a ton of 2026 prospects. So a lot of stuff happening this weekend on the 40 acres as well.
So who is it again? I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said the War Room is up on Orange Bloods, but I said that the list of the updated list from Jason for junior day prospects is part of the War Room tonight, including some 2027 guys like Zane Rowe, who we talked about, the defensive edge,
Zane Rowe.
Zane Rowe, yeah, from Denton Geyer.
All right, well that's good. Go over to Orange Bloods and check it out, man. You guys should all be on Orange Bloods anyway, dude. It's a terrific place to be. I'd venture to say it's. I mean, if I had to choose between Orange Bloods and Texas Beef Traders, I don't know what I would say. I was just checking an email just now. There was an issue with somebody getting their beef jerky. It looks like they are they got the vac bags in, and our guy Tom, he's coming into Austin on Thursday for the women's game, so he might just go in and pick his up that he ordered. But we're gonna have beef jerky pretty soon. I guarantee you, though, man, he's gonna go in there. Darren's gonna give him some free stuff. It's just like he is. He's gonna give him some food. There's no place like Texas Beef Traders, dude. No vaccines, no shots, no weird steroids, nothing, all non-GMO. These cattle are just amazing. You got to check out Texas Beef Traders. You're always going to get 10% off there when you tell them that you heard about them here on Orange Bloods Live. And you're also supporting a great sponsor of ours. So make sure and check those guys out, man. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. As long as we're talking about sponsors, Cody, why don't you tell them a little bit about how they can look into sponsoring our show here or content over on Orange Bloods?
If you want to advertise or sponsor a show or a column on orangebloods.com or Orange Bloods Live over on the website, you can advertise with us. A lot of people are doing that right now, but we're also looking for a lot of people to join. You'll be advertising to thousands of Longhorns fans. Contact Sonny Nelson today to become a sponsor or advertise with us at Orange Bloods. Email Sonny Nelson, SUNNYNEL SON at orangebloods.com, Sonny Nelson at orangebloods.com, or 512-924-4038. And you could advertise with Orange Bloods as well.
Yeah, or just I mean, tell me you want to advertise with Football with Friends, dude. We need a title sponsor.
We do. We are. I mean, we have.
We got to get one, man. Like we got to keep the show going, man.
But there, I think there's an open space right there for a logo.
Yeah, dude. And you guys know, man, how hard we go with our sponsors. So please contact Sonny.
I will say, Alex, speaking of sponsors, so 2 times now, you and I have come onto the screen wearing the same exact thing.
Oh.
The last time I said, oh, man, we can't do this. So I got up, I went and changed. I came back. You guys never knew this happened. Today, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to change. And the reason is, Alex, is because I have all my clothes laid out on my bed. I'm leaving in the morning for the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl. I have all my clothes laid out on the bed. All of my Poncho shirts are laid out on my bed right now. Poncho Outdoors. I'm telling you, all I'm going to wear next week is literally Poncho Outdoors. I got 3 sweaters like this. I'm going to wear the other 2 in my packed up, yellow and blue. I got the button ups. I got the pearl snaps. I got the outdoor. I got every layer, every level, including t-shirts.
Man.
I don't think I have a hat. I think I gave the hat to my little brother, but I would be head to toe. If they had pants, I'd probably buy pants. If they had socks, I'd buy socks. It's great quality. That's what it is.
Man. Yeah, dude. All right. Well, thanks so much to Poncho Outdoors as well. I'll put them up on the side here as a QR code so you guys can check them out. All right. Do you want to get into final takes?
Sure. Can I do a final takes to start? That is based on kind of sort of what we were just talking about with Coogan and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All right. So my first one for final takes Thursday, January 23rd. Would you rather take center Pat Coogan or wide receiver Jaden Greathouse from Notre Dame?
Dude, you're trying to you're asking my Westlake guy about versus your Midwesterner. Where's Coogan even from?
Coogan's from
Coogan.
Patrick Coogan. Patrick Coogan is from Marist, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago.
That's kind of the same accent that you guys have up there in Minnesota, right? Minnesota.
It's pretty much the same, yeah.
That sounds like my family's Swedish accents, kind of. My my great aunts and stuff growing up.
I never really realized I had any sort of anything in my was it dialect until I moved south, and then I started hearing more. I mean, obviously I moved straight from boom to like Virginia and then now to South Carolina, and I'm obviously now deeper into it, but I never really realized my vocals sounded different until I heard so many other people talk.
Yeah. Man, I mean, for me, it's hard. It's hard because I love Jaden Greathouse so much, but Texas has all the Coogan fixes all the problems, and I bet you got to pay more for Greathouse
after those 2 games.
Yeah, you got to pay more. He's like he'd be one to strike while the iron's hot. Because here's the thing: when these guys get in the portal, right? When they're in the portal right now, since they had 5 days to get out after or to get in after their last game. There's no one else allowed in until spring. So these guys are gonna have artificially inflated markets anyway. So many teams out there need wide receiver help. Texas has sick wide receivers, dude. I'm almost tired of worrying about it. Like Sark needs to bring in a veteran receiver, like all this stuff. Man, no, you have to take the center, because how clean did that just sound earlier when we talked about that starting lineup as compared to what it was looking to be, right?
Yep.
Because on one hand, you're looking at from left to right, Gooseby, Nato Yamusalo, Cole Hudson, DJ Campbell, Brandon Baker, or Gooseby, Cole Hudson, Connor Robertson, DJ Campbell, Brandon Baker, right? Yeah. Now you're able to, because you're maybe a little bit worried about, okay, Nato or Cole Hudson, like, are we really expecting both of those guys to hit? Right? You figure you get Coogan in there, he's going to be just a steady cog. He's a good player. Plays with good leverage. He plays like a wrestler. It just it brings together a whole unit of five men and makes the whole thing feel a lot easier. Whereas Jaden Greathouse would come in and be a great player. I'm always gonna say that Texas, that, I would love to see more Westlake guys at Texas and more really good wide receivers and stuff. But Texas has four wide receivers, well, depending on what they do with Michael Terry. But they have like four really good pass catchers who probably going to play wide receiver coming in that are all like, they all look to me like they're going to be future like $1 million dudes themselves. So pair him up with Wingo, pair him up with DeAndre Moore, and I mean that feels good to me. The offensive line doesn't necessarily feel good to me. They need to go get that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the word is, from some people in the forums, were saying that, they'd seen reporting, I'm not sure from who, but that they were going to have to go up against Oregon and Ohio State for the guy.
Shocker.
And, well, if that's the case, you're probably going to have to pay up a little bit. But I think you're going to see Texas make the push, man.
If they look at the same way I think we do, as it's something that ties the offensive line together and allows, if they believe Daniel Cruz is the future and they're like, well, we don't believe in Hudson, we don't believe in Robertson at center. Think about it. It's the position that, I know we're not in the standard day of, quarterbacks playing under center every day or every snap, but it's the first thing that if that center can't hold his own ground and your all-pro quarterback is right behind him and constantly has a 330-pound defensive tackle in his face, you notice it. You notice it directly. And that quarterback feels it directly. So, I wouldn't say center is the most important thing on the field, obviously, because that's quarterback, left tackle here, but it's definitely up there. And if they feel like they need something, I feel like there's definitely room to grow. Also, one note before we move past this, there's a note in the war room tonight about another offensive lineman from Notre Dame entering the portal and potentially keeping an eye on a guy. So it's a right guard, Rocco Spindler. He's a 330-pound guard. He was the 80th ranked overall guard in football in football this last year. DJ Campbell was 45th, for example. And Cole Hudson was 140th. And I don't know where Jake Majors is at. Hayden Connor. Sorry, Hayden Connor was 13th. So, but there's another note over there in the war room from Catch about him, Rocco Spindler. You're muted, dog.
My bad. Can we show all 22 on this?
Yeah, if it's like the caddy cut up stuff, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what. So do you know what number the guy is? Is he a 50 something or is he 74?
Who? Coogan?
No,
Spindler?
Coogan's 78.
Spindler's 50.
50. So it's the right guard that I kept telling you that I worried, because I was like, man.
Which game? Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana. They actually have him playing. Yeah, 50. He's the right guard. So, dude, he's the one who I said that whenever I was making my notes about, it didn't seem like
your screen or no?
Sure. I mean, I can share it. If it's allowed, are you pretty sure it's allowed?
Yeah. It's not a.
Yeah. So, I mean, so there's Spindler right there, and here's Coogan right here, and it's not. I mean, it's not bad. It's not the best rep by Coogan. But whenever I was watching him earlier, I wish I could get back to some of those plays from earlier. Where was this it? Where just like you can see this might be it actually. No, this is a false start. I think it's the next play. If you watch this, I think there's this miscommunication here between these two. You can even tell him talking to him. No, that's not it. But do you see what I mean about how he has pretty good leverage and got the knockdown there?
Yeah. I thought
Coogan.
he was going to get him for a second.
Yeah. But I so anyway, I was hoping I could find that thing and show you guys where it's like there was some I can see I can see I need to watch more of these games, but I can see the why like 80th ranked is not good.
No. Well,
And I
DJ
can kind of
Campbell was
see why because it felt like those double teams with the right guard didn't work out very well for him.
Yeah.
So
I think we see Texas go after Coogan more so than Spindler. I mean, you also technically have a right guard. Like I just said, Campbell was the 45th ranked guard according to PFF last year. This guy was 80th at right guard. So
we go get them both.
well, have at it. I mean, I don't know
What was Cole Hudson ranked?
120 or something.
Oh, okay. Go get them both.
And do you put Spindler at left guard?
Let him fight it out with NATO and Cole.
I mean,
and then if he wins it, then let Cole Hudson rotate in with him next year, like he rotated in with DJ Campbell all this year. I don't think it's terrible.
It's not a terrible idea.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Final takes. Let's see. There was one that I wanted to. Okay. So you said the all-pro quarterback, who's going to be defending the all-pro quarterback and stuff. This is something that I know that James and them have talked about. Who are the top 5 QBs to start 2025 in the SEC?
You want in order or just 5?
Oh, you have it in order? I don't. We can do it in order. I don't know who mine would be. I mean, I know who I would.
Top 5. Okay, so is this top 5?
Let me write down my 5 in no particular order, and let's see if it's your 5.
Okay, so is this top 5 like looking at them as draft prospects or top 5 college football players?
I think it's kind of both.
Well, I mean, are you looking for them to be the most successful?
Because the only one that you have that question mark with is Nico versus Pavia.
No.
Here
you go. Here's my 5.
Oh, do you know who it is?
I'm coaching a team this year. The quarterback that I want to lead my team out onto the field, 1 through 5. That's how I'm going to do this. Number 1, I want Arch Manning. Number 2, I want DJ Lagway. Number 3, I want Lenoris Sellers. Number 4, I want Garrett Nussmeier.
And see, Cody, we have the same top 4, and those are in no order: Lagway, Arch, Sellers, Nuss. And then for 5, it gets hard.
3 names?
Yeah.
Nico, Pavia, and
Mateer.
And who?
Mateer at Oklahoma.
Yeah. What about I mean, Keelan Russell's interesting.
We don't know if he's going to start.
I know.
We can't put him in the top 5. But
I think the top 4 is pretty clear cut.
Isn't it clear that it's like the top 25%? Like those guys are top 25%. It's clear.
Yeah.
Is there anybody even close? Like, I guess Nico probably. I mean, I guess Nico probably.
Consensus Nico's 5th. Yeah. If you were to ask,
because you're baking in that he improves. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't wholeheartedly believe he's there. I think there's a real world that you could see Mateer outplay him 100%. Pavia could outplay him 100%. Keelan Russell could outplay him in year 100% with the talent that's around these guys. But as far as like if you were to poll, like if we get to the SEC media days and hypothetically you were polled on, rank the quarterbacks and how they'll finish in pass efficiency this year, people would have Nico in the top 5 more often than they wouldn't. Right?
Would people pick Pavia?
Not in pass efficiency, but in like, I mean, look at the Heisman odds. Is there Heisman odds yet? There's got to be Heisman odds.
I haven't looked.
I think I saw the Heisman odds come out, and it was Arch.
Arch was in first or something.
Arch and Nuss. I think was the 1 and 2. So I mean, that would tell you, that would kind of give you a feel for, I guess, what the books think. And I would venture to bet that all of those quarterbacks we just listed, including Nico's going to be in there. He just is. So if I go to NCAA, they don't have it on my, and for me anyway, I can't view it. That's unfortunate. I hate my state. So okay, so Nussmeier and Arch are plus 850.
As co-leaders?
Lenore's Sellers is 7th overall, plus 1,800. Cade Klubnik's 1,100. He's not in the SEC. Nico is tied for 3rd with Klubnik at 1,100.
Whoa. Well, see, I mean, but I guess what they're doing is they're just baking in who's going to be on the good team.
Yeah. So I guess this is according to, I don't know who this is according to. This is in the AZ Central. I think this is FanDuel. So it's plus 900 Nussmeier, plus 950 Arch, plus 1,100 Klubnik, Ayamaliava, Aller. And then it goes to Jeremiah Smith, the receiver from Ohio State. And then Sellers at plus 1,800. Julian Sayin at Ohio State, tied at plus 1,800. Beck plus 2,000. Dante Moore plus 2,000. That's the top 10. And then Fafita is next from Arizona at plus 1,200. He's tied with 5 others.
S roll 45 says
Mateer and Lagway are 2,500.
S roll 45 says like the video and subscribe to the channel. We certainly do agree with you on that. S roll. Money's BS asking if the jerky's back in stock. Yes, but it's the packaging. I think the packaging got in today, so they have to put the packaging. We'll let you know for sure. And then Vivek B asks, is the Notre Dame center better than Jake Majors? I'm not sure he's better than Majors, but I think he's very similar he's very similar play style to Majors, is what I would say. On that.
One more thing. I'm going to put up the voting right now for final takes. But if we're looking for value in Heisman odds, we just listed our top 4, and our top 4 was Nuss, Arch, Sellers, and Lagway. Lagway is technically behind. I don't understand this. He's technically behind Ayamaliava, and he's tied with Mateer at plus 2,500 to win the Heisman.
Sellers is the.
He could go. He could run away with it.
Is he higher than Lagway?
Sellers is plus 1,800. Lagway is plus 2,500. And again, we're going to be in Indy in what, a month? And
yep.
You know what I did last year, right? I did Jaden Blue, which was I'm not going to do. I will put one in on 100%. Put one in on Sellers and Lagway, a ticket.
Yeah, dude, for sure. You're not gonna be able to cash in that Jaden Blue ticket this time.
No, but you know who I might put it in on this time? Malik Murphy plus 25,000.
Plus 25,000. Or Oregon State Oregon State Heisman winner, huh?
Speaking of value, Diego Pavia plus 18,000.
18,000.
He's so far down the list. He's past. You know who's favored? You know who's got better odds to win the Heisman next year than Diego Pavia? Trey Wisner.
Really? Oh. What is Wisner?
Wisner's plus 15,000.
I don't. I wouldn't. I
might put one in. I might put a ticket in on Pavia, dude.
Yeah, well, I would say Wisner's what our guy Michael Lombardi calls a St. Jude's bet. It's like just give the money to the kids at St. Jude's. Come on.
I miss the pods, dude.
God, I miss Lombardi, dude. All right. Do you have a final take? You
can go again quick. I'm not prepared. I got one, but I'm not prepared to. I'm on the
screen. Let's see here.
Voting is up, by the way.
Yeah, voting's up because I can already. You guys probably can tell that I'm just sick. At least I tested negative today for the flu, so that's good.
That's one win.
Yeah. but I gotta get whatever's going on here out before I gotta get on the road. Um, okay, final takes. Final takes. Uh, will Jaxson Dart be exposed at the Senior Bowl as simply a product of Lane Kiffin's offense?
It's weird. I mean, they are there's a lot of people talking about him like having the opportunity this next week to grab a hold of that RB or a QB3 spot and like
We've been talking about that forever.
grab the bull by the horns. But I mean the Senior Bowl is like the official, like that's your spot. And if you know, I think a lot of the stuff in Kiffin's offense, of course, is like throwing to open receivers, and it's timing stuff. What's the Senior Bowl? I mean, you're throwing to air, you're throwing in 1-on-1s, in 7-on-7, in guys you don't have a great connection with off the rip, but I think he's got enough arm
Good
talent.
players.
I think he's a good enough. I mean, I think there's good enough players that I think when you look at everybody else that's going to be at the event, you're going to be hard pressed for me in a week from now, Thursday next week. Event is over. For me saying, yeah, Dart stinks. Like I might say, nah, I don't love him, but I mean, when he goes in there against all those other guys, and it may come down to that, like as far as throwing against the other group, against the against the Howards and the Riley Leonards and the Dylan Gabriels, I might just come away and be like, yeah, I think he's better than those guys, but I don't love him.
No.
I'm not sure he gets exposed.
Right.
I think I'll sell on that part.
Man, do you know the city of Mobile, Alabama, always gets exposed because every time I go there, whenever I go to buy a bottle of tequila,
Oh my gosh.
it is always so expensive. It's nowhere near as cheap as I always get it at Specs.
No matter what you're needing, Spec's same-day delivery can save the day with our Specs app or online shopping. From world-class wines to hard-to-find spirits and craft beers to gourmet foods, delicious snacks, and spectacular sweets.
All right, final takes. What do you got, Cody?
All right, here's my other one. Liam Coen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is in the right for going back on his word with Tampa Bay and taking a second interview with Jacksonville today.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've been kind of I've been kind of sleeping and like.
So this has been okay. So I'll give you everything quick.
All right.
The last 3 hours, Twitter's kind of exploding because the first report that came out was that Coen met with the Jags today. The second report that came out, this is all Rap or I think it was all Schefter. The second one came out and said that the Bucs hadn't heard from Coen all day, and they were trying to reach out to him, and they hadn't heard from him, and he was ghosting them. The third report, after Twitter blew up because they were like, he's ghosting him, he's going to Jacksonville, this is BS. 2 hours later, Schefter tweets, Coen did reach out to Coach Todd Bowles and let him know what he was doing. So there was obviously some transparency there. But it sounds like he didn't sign the contract yesterday. He hadn't been into the office to sign it. And in that time, between his last interview with Jacksonville that happened in Tampa and them offering the contract to him and Belke getting fired, Shad Khan had communications with Coen, and Coen went to Jacksonville for another interview. And it sounds like it might end up getting done. And what my question is to you is, he's in the right for going back on his word saying he would sign an extension. He's been to Kentucky, the Rams, Kentucky, Tampa Bay. He's been 4 different spots the last 4 different years. This will be his 5th consecutive year moving. You think he's in the right for climbing the ladder the way he has?
Look, man, I think we always talk about it with these defensive-minded head coaches. If you hit on one of these offensive gurus that does really well for you, you're gonna deal with it. You're gonna lose it. You gotta be good at picking them. Todd Bowles has dealt with it now. Dave Canales last year, this year, Liam Coen, he's done a good job picking these guys. Hopefully he'll do it again. But that's the deal that you make. It's like Dan Campbell's having to go and reload the whole thing. You know, you have success. People are going to want to come there and pick your guys off. And it's the way of the league. You can't, it's just business. And you have to understand that it's a sign of it's kind of a sign that your organization is kind of doing things right if you're constantly getting your coaches poached. So I think what Bowles has been doing has been right, but he didn't sign the contract. Everybody knows that you never stand in front of anybody's way to get a head job.
Yeah.
Now, I would say it's a head job. Like there's only 32 of them. And you've seen it even with just think of wasn't Byron Leftwich an offensive coordinator there too? Whenever he turned down the Jags job?
Yep.
And then next thing you know, nobody wants to interview Byron Leftwich anymore. It's like your star can burn out real quick. You come back next year and Baker Mayfield turns out, it's a big turd in the punch bowl type of season. Next thing you know, but I'm being serious. Like your star, like you got to strike while the opportunity's hot, man. There's like only 32 of these, dude.
Do you think Leftwich potentially goes back to Tampa if Coen leaves?
Where is Leftwich now?
Nothing. But they said that there was a report that came out like a month ago that said he was looking to get back in. He hasn't had a job since he was with the Bucs in 2022.
I don't know. I think you might want to probably want to go look for another one of McVay's guys.
Probably right. They probably have somebody on staff too.
They probably have somebody. They probably have some kind of assistant quarterbacks coach for McVay or something, or whoever they probably. I guess Coen is the quarterbacks coach and the offensive coordinator. But no, man. I mean, I don't think it's wonderful. I don't think it's like the most. I mean,
but coaching staffs and teams do this every year, right? They kick dudes out the door. So why is Coen wrong for?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's the most virtuous thing anybody's ever done to say you're going to come back and then don't come back. But he didn't sign a contract, and the whole thing is it materially changed in the one way that he didn't want to be attached to Balky. I
mean that's big, and
it's like a whole different situation. So no, of course, and now he's going to end up taking the job. He's like I'm surprised that he hadn't just taken it yet.
Their pass game coordinator is Josh Zard. This last year was his first year. He's been coaching for 12 years, including all with the Miami Dolphins.
So he was with McDaniel beforehand
for a year. Prior to his time with the Dolphins, Grizzard worked as a grad assistant at Duke and where he coached Daniel Jones.
Okay. Well, that was when Homeboy was there. So I don't know, man. I think that sounds like a pretty good resume as far as quarterbacks and stuff.
Yeah, and then their quarterback coach is Thad Lewis, former quarterback.
Thaddeus
Lewis.
All
he was
right.
in. God damn. Flashbacks.
All right, let's see. Final takes. Let's just see if we can get to a couple more of these.
Tamara. Last show of the week. Last show till Tuesday.
More likely to be a starter for Texas next year, Cole Brevard or Justice Terry?
Cop out, both. Cole Brevard, most likely, sure, give him 51-49 because he's the veteran in the room. I mean, I can't remember. I don't even remember what I wrote back to you in your column. How I viewed this guy. I got to look that back up. I think I said, like the inverse Bill Norton. He's a short tanker. Like he to me, when you watch him play, he looks just like a short tanker. He looks like he's like 5'10" with that big guy. He looks like Michael Pierce out there from the Baltimore Ravens. So Brevard probably, just because you get the veteran aspect. The room is not deep, and he probably plays or starts week 1. But I think Justice Terry ends up starting at some point in the first quarter of the season.
I just think that Justice Terry is going to have to come in and play. I mean, you made him the Godfather offer, dude. He's going to have to come in and play. I watched Brevard, and to me, I feel like ultimately, he's maybe a Bill Norton plus at this point.
Plus?
Yeah, but not as good as Lole.
If he's a Bill Norton plus, Texas is sitting fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember, Bill Norton's only a 20% snap kind of guy, right? I think at least at least this dude Brevard played, over the 3 games that I did of him, he played like 54, 56% of snaps.
You think he's going to do that for Texas?
No, I think it's going to be more like, I think it'll be somewhere between like Lole played like 46%, Norton played like 21%. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle, but closer up towards where Lole was playing. I don't think he'll be as good as Lole. So it's just, man, whenever he gets moving laterally, he needs to get his pad level down. There's some things that he needs to work on, and I think that we've sort of seen. I watched some 2023 stuff, some 2024 stuff. We've sort of seen what he is. I think with Justice Terry, we don't know what he is, but I think just based on the upside of him, the guy, man, I think he's going to end up being the starter. All right, final takes. Let's see. I think I have another one here. NFC and AFC championship predictions.
Part of me through this whole process has just believed in the Chiefs and what they are is a team that can win every game because winners find ways to win, losers find ways to lose. But part of me also believes that, yes, the NFL does have the Chiefs on their finger as far as that goes. Like, I know everyone thinks that there's this thought out there to get them to win 3 in a row. But I also think that the NFL knows everyone has an eye on them. This is a complete conspiracy theory here. And so I think that the NFL knows that they have everybody at the and that's when they pull the rug and the Bills win. And the Bills go to the Super Bowl. The Bills go to New Orleans. And the Bills play. Why not another rushing quarterback in Jaden Daniels?
I mean, both of them will be rushing quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. But
you think Jalen Hurts is going to be hurt this week?
Or you could have the factor where Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson, beats Patrick Mahomes, and then beats Saquon and establishes himself as the MVP.
But that's a regular season award.
I know, but I mean, in totality, people would say he just beat everybody. No argument. I
think it's
Chiefs. Eagles.
Oh wait, dude, would that be Jaden Daniels back to? That's in New Orleans, huh? Oh gosh, it's not happening. It's gonna be Bills Eagles.
Chiefs Eagles was the Super Bowl that I went to. The media stuff was it 3 years ago in Phoenix? Yeah, I'd rather not see that game again.
Yeah, well, it's a definite non-zero chance that's the game that we get, Cody.
Yeah.
All right. Final one here before we get out. Before my voice goes out here. Is Jaden Blue going to participate fully in Shrine Bowl practice?
He should. I don't know why he would. He should. Honestly, Alex. He has an opportunity. I'm gonna go there tomorrow. He has an opportunity. Jaden Blue does to really establish himself in the class at the running back position, in a running back position that's loaded. Other running backs that I'm going to be keeping an eye on at the event: Rocket Sanders from South Carolina, formerly of Arkansas; Taj Brooks from Texas Tech, the bowling ball of a running back. Jaquindon Jackson will be there from Arkansas as well. I don't think that those guys are so much better at talent that Jaden Blue will look at a different level below them. What I do know is that Jaden Blue has a different level of speed than all of those guys.
Dynamism.
What I do know is that if they allow him, he will have the abilities to outshine everybody on that field and be one of the biggest risers from the week. So I don't know why he wouldn't participate. He should. He has an opportunity to really vault himself up into the top 10. Right at 10, probably in the class or so, but he's an opportunity.
Yeah, man. Well, now we have an opportunity to say thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks so much to everybody here watching us live. Thanks so much to our great sponsors like myperfectfranchise.net, like Texas Beef Traders, like Specs, like Poncho Outdoors. We can't thank you guys enough. Cody, do we have a winner in final takes?
We have, let me pull up YouTube here. End poll, 20 votes.
Only 20 votes. Golly.
Such a putrid. Hey, I mean, we've had 20 votes.
No one ever votes.
50%, 50%.
Again?
Yeah, dude.
It was the same last week.
It
The week before last.
50%, 50%. I think you got some of the pity vote for being sick.
Yeah, probably so. Well, I'm getting better. I'm on the mend, so I can take us out, man. You can find me on X at Alex Dunlap NFL. You can find Cody at Cody Carpentier. You can find us at FWF_OB. All of our content for the Texas Longhorns you can find at orangebloods.com. All of our NFL draft, fantasy football, dynasty league football stuff you can find over at rosterwatch.com. Thanks so much to everybody for being here. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us. Again, no show tomorrow, no show Monday, no show. I don't think any show Thursday because I'm flying and Cody's driving that day. But we'll have shows live from Mobile on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then back to our regular schedule after that. I was about to sneak.
We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you on Tuesday